So as y'all know, I always got something to talk about. No, I talk about my books. I talk about my my political views or whatnot. I always got something to say. But today, this week just kind of got away from me, and I'm like, dang, I don't got nothing to really talk about. So I'm not gonna skip. I'm just gonna let this be like a thing that I do every once in a while, or maybe I'll do it again next week. I don't really know. Where I just kind of like ramble and I just yap because that's what we do here. It's born to gap. Yeah, period. You like this? It's a little knit. It's like you know what I hate? I hate when clothes are cheaply made and they have like this little fuzzies on it. I have one of those things that like take it off, but like I literally can't find it because you know. But someone was like, "Oh, this merch." I said, "No, baby, this is not merch. I just already had it. See, I was meant to do this. I was meant to do this because it's also in the colors of my channel. Like that's mad random. Also, the colors of my channel are super random because I don't even like pink. Like I did a Galentine's with my best friend on Sunday, and she was like, "Oh my god, you wore pink." And I'm like, she said, "Oh my god, you wore pink. You don't even have pink." I said, "Yes, I have this, and I have another sweater, and that's it." And I pulled it out of the archives for my girl. And yeah, but the reason why I don't have something specific to talk about today is because I was supposed to have a Galentine's with my girls yesterday and we were going to film a video, but then I end up having rehearsal for a short film that I'm in. So I had to cancel on them last minute. But then I end up being able to make it to the Galentine's, but I didn't have any of my equipment. So I said, well, I guess not. So like I do want to do stuff with other people and it will happen eventually, just like not today. But yeah, today is just gonna be a cute little ranty rant and I'm just gonna talk about whatever I want because that's what I do. Hey girl, welcome back to the Let Me At podcast, my podcast where I talk about whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want. How are you? I hope you're doing good today. And yeah, I don't really have anything to say. Like, oh my god. First, I always have something to say. I'm lying. I always got something to say. What I want to say is me getting like extra comfortable. I feel like, oh my god, this is Cornelius, and this is your Marcus. I got this from someone I went on a date with, and this is my son that I got at a stuff and plush from when I was in college. Um, all my other videos, I'm like sitting up straight. I'm like trying to enunciate as perfectly as possible. I'm like, y'all really got nothing to talk about today. But can we talk about the weather? Because I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm trying to get over a cold. Um, that kind of came on over the past weekend because of the weather changes. Like I don't know who. I saw something on TikTok. It was this girl, and she was like, the reason why Phil the groundhog died was because I pickled him. And she held up a jar with a groundhog, and I said, "Oh my god, girl, what?" No, the reason why Phil died after all these years is because after he predicted that 6 weeks of winter, everybody was mad. They was wishing death on my man's name, so now he had died. But R.I.P. my man Phil. He was old and tired too. He was tired of the cold too. Not his fault. Not his fault. But from the moment that little thing died, it had indeed got warm outside. Cause why was it 50 degrees outside? It was giving dun, 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 dun. Outside was some that doesn't know how to act. Yeah, that's exactly what it's giving. Oh my god, I felt it. I was outside yesterday. I said, "Why is it warm outside?" I was over here sweating. I had to take off my scarf. I had a vest on. I said, "Oh yeah." Also, happy Lunar New Year to all of the people out there who celebrate Lunar New Year. Because I was on TikTok during that becoming Chinese baddies thing, so I was learning and I learned about Lunar New Year and a little bit. But happy Lunar New Year to all those who celebrate. I have been getting a lot of different like tarot readings on like TikTok recently, and you have to have a lot of discernment when it comes to like tarot readings because some people be lying. Like the people who be having all those like symbols, the stuff on the screen, y'all be lying down. Like I can't prove that you lying, but I know that you lying. You know what I mean? But I have like one or two people on TikTok that I follow. I'm like, oh yeah, this girl is channeling through that screen to me, you know. And a lot of the readings I've been getting a lot recently have been in regards to like coming out of an old cycle into a new one, or that I've learned from my past mistakes and lessons from the past, and now that I've kind of overcome them, now it's time for me to move into a new era, you know. And I'm like, wow, that's so interesting because I just recently like went through some and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But I have got one this morning. It's this girl that I found on TikTok. I got one this morning. She kind of chewed me up and spit me out. She was like, and it kind of went in, it coincided with a reading that my friend gave me last night at our Galentine's. So it was a little spooky, you know? But pretty much what she was saying was that she was like, you have spent last year, the year of the snake, um like sussing people out, you know, getting rid of the bad people in your life, setting boundaries. You have really like built yourself up, and now going into was it, it's like the fiery horse or something like that. I'm so sorry if I said if it's not that, but I think it's the fiery horse. Pretty much you have to take those things that you learned and take those lessons that you learned and put them into this new gear, this new version of you. You know what I mean? And I thought that was so interesting because she also was like, you can't be afraid of making those same mistakes. You have done the work, you have overcome. So don't be afraid of those same mistakes and move forward. You have the ability to set boundaries, and that to trust myself, trust my own instincts, and to like allow, like, you run a strict program. So just keep running it, you know, have an open heart, have an open channel, which is what my friend last night told me. She was like, I spent so much time like reinventing myself and picking myself up and boosting my self-esteem, that like I have such high standards and such like set boundaries that like it has kind of like closed me off from wanting to build um form new connections with people out of fear of me not knowing if I can stand my ground and set boundaries with new people, which I absolutely know is true. Like I that has been such a huge thing for me of like, because I always say I forgot who I was talking to. I think I made a TikTok about it. Follow me on TikTok, Alicia012. All I do over there is post cute videos, rant about BS. You know what I mean? But pretty much I've made a TikTok about how I love getting a little tipsy and then going into people's TikTok comments and commenting. What? And how I saw this girl and she had no comments, and but she had a cute video. I said, "Oh my god, girl, you taking it." And I was just like, because I love community engagement. What? I am community engagement. But I brought that up to say that I've been saying a lot recently within the past like year or so that I really, really, really have been needing community. I've been needing more people around me. Like I have like my friends that I love, you know, but you know, as people grow and change, you learn more about different aspects of yourself. And I've just been trying to learn more about, and like, oh, and as I've been learning more aspects of myself, I'm like, oh, I would like to have more like friends who like have similar interests in like in me. So like similar music taste in me, or like they think the same as me, you know, or you know, people I could get a little bit deeper with, you know, that's not as outside of like my two like really best friends, you know. So I have been really pining for community. I've been putting myself out there to really build community, but within that I think I still harbor those old wounds from past relationships, and I need to slowly open myself up and be willing to allow my and just show my full heart and know that it's okay to be vulnerable with these new people that I am slowly starting to call my friends, and know that it's okay to allow yourself to be open and vulnerable with them. You know, it's okay to allow yourself to be open and vulnerable with new people that may come into your life, but you have the tools to maintain that sense of agency, those boundaries. You can use, like I had the discernment, like I could use my discernment, and I think that's the hardest thing about it. When my friend gave me that reading last night, I was like, oh my god, like she read me to filth. Like she opened me up like a book and she went page by page. Like it was crazy. And it was just crazy that I got that confirmation this morning from another TikTok reader that I follow and that I listen to pretty deeply. I was just like, wow, that's so crazy. Like I feel like we don't I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit. Like at least for me, like I don't give myself enough credit on the work that I've done. And I'll give myself the grace to know that like I am not a perfect person. No one's going to be a perfect person, and that it's going to take time to grow and change and move and I saw another TikTok. I'm always on TikTok, chronically online. What can I say? I saw another TikTok, and it was this guy, and he was like, "How when you're getting better, it feels like you're getting worse, But like that's a part of growing. Like it's like when you go to the gym, like the only way to get better, at the gym is if you go and you start. You have to start somewhere. It's like I feel when it comes to like mental health and things like that, we don't talk about like that part of you when you start going to therapy. Like I go to therapy, like that part of you, like when you start going to therapy and you start getting help and things like that, you are learn like emotional regulation and how to regulate your nervous system and learning like problem solving skills and things like that. Like when you start learning these different things and then you start implementing them, you're like, okay, great, great, great. I'm implementing them, and then something will happen, and like I have to implement them, and I'm like, oh my god, something happened. I gotta implement. Like it's like you learning the same lessons over and over and over and over and over again, and it's like, well, I thought I learned the lesson the first time, and you don't. For me, it's like sometimes I feel like I have all these tools to my disposal, and now that I have the tools, I should be able to go out there into the world and utilize them. But I'm scared. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Like I said about like my new friends and community, like how bad I want community, but I'm so scared to put myself out there. Like in the sense of like I don't want to be like hurt, or I don't want to be vulnerable and leave myself open to be hurt, which is crazy because that's literally how life is. And I think that on a surface level it's really easy for me. Like when I was in college, what I knew everybody. Like I always was talking to somebody. Like I would be on my way to class with my roommate, and someone would be like, "Oh, hey, Lay, hey, Lay, hey, Lay, shit, hey, Lay, shit." I'm like, "Oh my god, hey, girl, hey, girl, hey, girl," and I always get stopped. And my friend was like, "You always know somebody." I'm like, "That's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm famous. It's not my fault. I'm popular." Like it's just who I am. But I think it's so easy for me on the surface level because I have such a kind of inviting personality, and I'm just myself. But I think when it comes to getting deeper with people, that's where it's so hard for me. I feel like it's really easy for me to maintain friendships or build stuff with people on the surface, but I find it really hard to be vulnerable, which is crazy because I'm such an open person. Like it's crazy to think that I am such an open person, and I'm open about my pains. I'm open about my experiences. But when we want to when we get like deep like in a person's core, I really do hold a lot of my cards close to my chest. But the only reason why I do that is because of like my fear of rejection, which we all have, or my fear of being vulnerable, or like my fear of being like annoying. Like oh my god, like I have the biggest fear of feeling like I'm being annoying to other people. But like when you become friends with somebody, it's like that's a part of it. That's just who, like, they accept you for who they are, for who you are, and you get over it. And I think that's like the hurdle that I have to constantly get over when I'm meeting new people, or I'm trying to build something with new people, is being able to like do the work of like reaching out and getting over my fear of being annoying, or fear of my fear of being a burden, and just continue to build with that person, and understand that unless said otherwise, I think you know what it is. I think that I'm scared. I really am sitting here just chatting. Sorry, I do this thing where I commentate. I'll stop myself from what I'm doing and I'll commentate on what I'm doing. Like I do that all the time because I told y'all I could really just sit here and talk forever. Like these thoughts are the thoughts I always have in my head, which is why I want to start my podcast, because I have all these thoughts, and the only time I ever share them with my therapist once a week. So like, and other times I need to let these thoughts out of my brain. But what was I saying? I was saying something. I think I lost my train of thought. And I was sitting here trying to figure out what I was talking about, but I think the point I was about to make was that I think that it comes from this fear of people not telling me how they feel about something that I've done, or not being honest or being truthful with me. So because of that, I fear that I am being annoying, or I fear that I'm placing a burden onto others because of their own, out of fear that they're not being truthful with me, which I have no control over, and you can't control anybody else. You can only control yourself. So I am in the practice of allowing myself to just be myself, and regardless of others, not allow the way I may be being perceived or what people may not be saying stop me from just being myself, or asking for the things that I need, or just fully allow myself to experience the life that I want to live. And that's really hard because people lie. People lie. People lie. People lie. People lie. Like you would think that you cool with somebody for mad long, and they and at the end of the day they harbor a hell of resentment against you. Like I remember, I'm not gonna get into this story because I don't want to, and I'm not a messy person. I mean, I can be. I love being messy, but I'm not a messy person. And I love watching those people who be putting all their business out online and be talking about like story time about this and story time about that. I want to be that person, but I'm not. I'm not gonna be putting all my business out there like that because I personally don't want the repercussions. There, I said it. I don't want the repercussions of putting my business out there online like this. Like this, me talking to you and just being vulnerable and me expressing like my feelings about my own inner workings and my inner thoughts on friendship and relationships, that's one thing. But me like telling you about a situation that happened with an old friend of mine or a situation that happened with like a family member, I'm not gonna do that because I respect myself too much to bring that back up. And I also like, what if it goes viral? Because you never know what goes viral, bruh. You will be so surprised on what goes viral. Like I could like my videos right now be getting 60 views. I start talking, I start talking shit, or I start tell my business, then I'm at 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, a million views. No ma'am, no ma'am. So I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm gonna keep it cute. But I'm just gonna say this. I think where one of the reasons where that fear of like people not being honest with me comes from is like I have like an old best friend who, I'm not gonna get into this, but I had an old best friend who I love very very deeply, and we had our issues, like all people, all friendships. But like in the end of our relationship, I learned that she was holding a lot of resentment against me for a few things that I've done to her that she didn't express to me. And I think that if she would have expressed it to me, then I would have been able to fix it or like adjust. But I think that because she never expressed it to me, it just kind of like and just kind of let it go. It was just like, dang, like I never even got the chance. Like I hate when people like I saw this other TikTok. It was like I hate when people assume that my actions are bad because I feel like I've never given people a reason to think that my intentions weren't pure. Like I'd have never given you a reason, especially if you're someone I consider a friend. I will never um I will never treat my friend poorly just because my intentions when it comes to people, even strangers, are never bad. I never come from a place of malintent. So for someone to think that my intentions towards them were bad or ill intended, it's just like, dang, like why? Like I've never given you a reason to think that. So why? Like that has happened to me multiple times in the past and I don't know where that stems from. My mom always be like, that's because they're jealous of you. And I'm not the type of person to be like, oh yeah, they just jealous of me. I never been that type of person. I don't like, are there people out there who are probably jealous of me? Yeah. There are people out there who are jealous of everybody. There are people I'm jealous of. It's a human trait to be jealous of others, even people that are close in our lives. I think that is a trait that you have to be willing to understand and digest and ask yourself why and understand that your journey is different from someone else's and move on. But not everybody has that same maturity. And there are people who are jealous of just to be jealous of you, or there are people who are envious of you, or people who don't like where you are at in your life compared to them. A whole bunch of different things. And I'm not saying that about her, I'm saying that in general. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I fear that because that's happened to me so many times in my life where someone has taken my intentions or me being a human being or me just living my life in a negative way, and then they cut me off, or they never give me a chance to fix it, or they never talk to me and communicate with me where they were at or how we can continue to build, because I feel I'm someone who gives people so much grace, but sometimes I feel like I'm not extended the same amount of grace, which then in turn makes me place that back on myself. And now I work so hard to make sure that I'm a good person, that I educate myself, that I sometimes forget to give myself the grace. And I remember like yesterday I was talking to another one of my friends and she was like, Alicia, like you are enough. Like you are enough. Like you need to learn how to extend yourself the grace of knowing that you are still just a human being. And I'm like, bruh, it's so tiring. Because I feel like there's so many people out there who don't even think like this. Like sometimes I feel crazy because I'm like, there are people out here who don't think this deeply about trying to show up the correct way, or trying to show up and in a positive way, or trying to show up and put my best foot forward whenever they meet new people, or like continue to build relationships, or learning how to let stuff go when it need be. Like, it's so many people out there who don't even think like this, and I'm like, bruh, I spend so much of my time thinking about how I'm me being perceived, bruh, and I need to stop I need to like stop worrying about the way I'm being perceived and just live. But I've always been like that. It's a constant cycle. It's a constant cycle. If you like that, let me know down below in the chat. Because it's yeah. Let me know if you also are a chronic overthinker and all you do is wonder how you are being perceived by those around you, and how what steps you are taking, or what steps you have taken to let things go. Because I'm not like a mean spirited person. So sometimes I just be wanting to be like, fuck it, and just like walk off, or and just say fuck the world, or just curse somebody out. But I'm really not like that. Like, I wish I was. Like, bro, I feel like my life would be so much easier if I was a crash out. Like, I wish I was a crash out. That way I could have more. I could justify my reasons for, but I'm not. It sucks. Like, all my crash outs, come in the comments. Tell me how you be just crashing out. Like, why? Like, I never been like that. Even when I was a kid, like my mom used to be hella confrontational, and I never was a confrontational person. I had to learn confrontation wasn't a bad thing. I didn't learn it until like my sophomore year in college, where I got like through this whole entire. Like, I had this like really big bad friendship breakup with like a group of my friends. Because of my avoidance and because of our lack of communication back and forth, I had to learn that confrontation wasn't a bad thing. It's something that is necessary in life. But sometimes you have to go through that kind of trauma to like really learn. Like, that's when I started going to therapy. Like, but I know confrontation isn't a bad thing. But like, I hate people who are just so confrontational. Like, nothing. Like, you just out and about, and they don't like the way someone looking at you, so they be like, oh, blah 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 blah, or this and the third. I'm like, yo, chill out, calm down. Like, it raises my blood pressure. I'm like, yo, and I think growing up, my mom used to be so confrontational that I used to be like, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Like, I was like such a pacifist. But like, now that I'm an adult though, I get it. You know how when you are a kid, you do something and your parents are like, yeah, when you grow up and you have kids, or when you start living in the real world, then you'll understand, and blah, 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 blah. She's right. I do understand. Because people do be pissing me off. But I'm not the type to want to just deck someone in their face for it. Like, dang, like, I feel like I just have a lot more patience. As I understand more about the world and more about the way people think, and just understand, like, this is just what we're going to go through. I think that then I'm able to just allow myself to just be like, which in turn has given me more patience. So, I don't know. I'm just trying my best, but aren't we all? I think I'm gonna stop there because that's all. Like I said, I didn't have anything real to say today. I just wanted to make sure that I'm staying consistent with my channel. My channel. Did you like that? My channel. Okay, I'll stop. I just want to be consistent. I want to make sure that I'm staying consistent and posting regularly. And maybe next week I'll come back with an actual another video title. And I would love if people like, you know, interacting with my videos. I saw another TikTok and it was talking about how people, specifically on Instagram, like people love to watch. Like, what happened to social media being social? Like, people love to watch. People love the way people don't like, people don't comment, but people just be watching. Like, sometimes when people be like, oh, I saw your video, I saw this, I saw that. You did? I want to know. Because I don't never nobody be liking or commenting. Like, let it know. Tell me, like, give me, like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We live and we learn. Hashtag make social media social again. Drop what you want me to talk about, because I feel as if I've been doing this for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now. I think everybody's getting an idea. If you watch my videos regularly, I think everyone's getting an idea of like what kind of videos I make, or what kind of topics I talk about and things like that. So like, if there's anything you want me to talk about specifically, I would love it if you guys could like drop in the comments here or on my Instagram. Let me yap with 2 E's in me and 3 P's in yap. And just let me know like what else you would like me to talk about, because I am a woman of the people. And don't forget, it's still Black History Month. Okay? Thank you for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed this little ramble sesh that I just had. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.